Welcome to Midnight Murmurs. Tonight's tale is one best told slowly, a whispered memory from a place forgotten by most, but never by me, so close your eyes and settle in, because once I start, I won't stop. Not until you've heard what happened. In the forest they call hollow pines. I didn't go looking for trouble. I just needed to disappear. And that's exactly what I did. Or at least I thought I did. It started 3 years ago. I had just quit my job, burned out, fed up, done. I packed everything I could into the back of my old truck and started driving north, away from the city, away from the noise. I didn't have a plan. I didn't want one. All I knew was that I wanted silence. I wanted solitude. I ended up in a part of the state that most maps didn't bother to detail. A region where the trees grew taller than most buildings, where the fog clung to the ground even after noon, and where the locals only spoke in half-truths. Black Hollow, they called it, a place few entered, and fewer still returned from. One found a listing online, buried beneath hundreds of other rural properties. A log cabin on the edge of Hollow Pines Forest, unoccupied for years, going cheap, dirt cheap. I didn't ask why. I just bought it. When I arrived, it was exactly as the pictures showed. Simple, isolated, surrounded by miles of whispering pines. The air smelled like damp moss and smoke from some long dead fire. And yet, despite the silence I had sought, something about it felt alert, like the forest itself had turned its attention toward me the moment I crossed its threshold. The first few nights passed quietly. I cooked over a fire, read old books I hadn't touched in years, and listened to the wind rustle through the trees. I thought I had finally found peace. But that peace wouldn't last. The days blurred. I tried to keep a routine, wake at sunrise, chop wood, hike a little, cook something simple. But I could feel it watching me. Not just at night. Even in daylight, I'd turn and see movement in the trees. Nothing ever stayed still. Then, the whispers started, faint at first, like the wind. But wind doesn't form words. They came mostly at night, from just outside the cabin walls. They'd murmur my name, repeat phrases from the journal. You read it, you're marked. Give it what it wants. Don't let it in, but don't shut it out. Sleep became a memory. I was living in a fog, drifting through a waking nightmare. I stopped lighting the fire at night. I didn't want it to see me. One night, I dreamt I was standing in a stone circle again. Only this time I wasn't alone. Figures stood in the trees, dozens of them. Faceless, motionless, watching. When I woke, I had mud on my feet. Time started slipping. I couldn't tell if I'd been in the cabin for 3 weeks or 3 months. The days melted together. I'd wake up unsure if it was morning or night. I kept logs at first, notes scratched into the inside cover of the journal, but even those began to blur. Sometimes I'd find entire pages written in my handwriting, but I didn't remember writing them. I found food gone. Tools moved. One morning I woke up on the floor, the front door wide open, pine needles covering the floorboards. And once I woke up in the woods. It was still dark, my flashlight was gone, my boots were wet, and in the distance I could see the stone cabin glowing faintly with a strange blue light. I ran, My legs felt like they didn't belong to me. My breath came in short, sharp gasps, but the forest never seemed to end. When I finally found the path back to my cabin, the sun was already up. I checked the journal. 3 days had passed. That's when I realized something was changing, something inside me. I'd catch myself whispering when I was alone, repeating the same words I heard outside the walls. And when I looked in the mirror, something about my eyes seemed different, not haunted, not tired, just unfamiliar, like someone else was behind them. I decided I had to leave. No more waiting, no more watching. I was done. I packed a bag with just the essentials: food, water, a flashlight, the journal, and planned to hike until I found a road, a ranger station, another human being, anything. At dawn, I stepped outside and didn't look back. The trail that had once led me to the stone cabin, I followed it in reverse. It felt strange, unfamiliar now. Trees were closer than they used to be. The underbrush was thicker, darker. The birds didn't sing. Hours passed, or maybe more. I never found a clearing, a ridge, or any sign that I was getting closer to the edge of the forest. That's when I found the stone cabin again. I hadn't turned around. I hadn't deviated from the trail. But there it was, same moss-covered stone, same circle of ash inside. It was like the forest had folded around me. Panic set in. I screamed, loud and long. No echo, no response, just trees. I turned and ran in a new direction, not even thinking. Branches whipped at my face. Roots tried to catch my feet. And still, every time I stopped, caught my breath, tried to reorient myself, the stone cabin was there, waiting. By nightfall, I had no choice. I set up a small fire, my first in days, and sat by it, trembling. In the flickering light, I opened the journal again, hoping for an answer. There was a new page, written in fresh ink, in my own handwriting. You can't run from what you've become. And beneath it, a new drawing. A man, standing in the center of the stone circle, surrounded by eyes. One of them was mine. The fire died sometime in the night. I don't remember falling asleep, but I woke to nothing but embers and mist. My body ached like I hadn't moved in days. The forest was silent again. Not peaceful, just waiting. I stood dizzy, and the journal slipped from my lap. When it hit the ground, it opened to a page I hadn't seen before, blank, except for one word etched in jagged black ink. Choose. I didn't understand. Choose what? I whispered the word aloud, and the forest seemed to lean closer. Choose. I felt something stir inside me, a weight behind my ribs, behind my eyes, and suddenly I was standing not in the woods, but in the circle again. The stone cabin was whole now, clean, new, a fire burning inside. Across from me stood a figure, a man, or almost a man. He looked like me, same face, same posture, but his eyes were empty, just darkness. He smiled slowly. "Give me the rest," he said. I stepped back, shaking my head. "You've been giving pieces for weeks," he said, "in the dreams, in the waking walks, in the words you thought were yours." He stepped closer. "All that's left is the choice." I looked around. The trees were full of watchers, dozens, maybe hundreds, silent, faceless, unmoving, all waiting. "If I choose to leave?" I asked. He tilted his head. "Then the forest finds another, and you remain half." And if I stay, you become whole. I didn't know what that meant. I still don't. But I stepped forward. He nodded, and the fire behind him flared white. And then I woke, back in my cabin, the real one. Everything looked the same, but different. The journal was gone, and when I looked into the mirror that morning, it wasn't my reflection anymore. The forest is quiet now. You've heard the story. You've felt the trees shift. You've walked the trail again and again. But now there's only calm. You're safe. Whatever watched is satisfied. Whatever whispered is done. Let the silence take over. Let your thoughts slow down. Let your breath match the rhythm of the wind. A breeze drifts through the trees, light and soft. Crickets murmur faintly in the distance. A gentle owl calls. But far away, your body sinks deeper into the bed, your muscles soften, your eyelids grow heavier, and now you rest. You've chosen, and the forest has accepted you. You are no longer alone. You are no longer searching. Sleep. Let the wind carry you. Let the stillness hold you. Let go. The sound of the trees will keep you. The rhythm of the night will calm you. Sleep now. Sleep.